Hey YouTube, what's up? I am feeling pretty sick, so my energy might be a little lower in this video. Um, today is today is Tuesday for you, but for me right now it's Wednesday because I'm going to play some more Brawl, but I'm going to use a different deck today. Today we are playing Kaalia Zenith Seeker. So as soon as my air conditioner stops buzzing, I'm going to do a quick run through of what the deck is, what it does, what its goals are, and then after that we're going to play a game or two, depending how long the games go. So let's get right into that just now.
Hey there, it's Grixis, doing all kinds of things. Hey there, it's Grixis School, playing all kinds of games. Pokemon and Magic the Gathering, come on down for all kinds of wild things.
Alright, so again, Brawl is a singleton format, so it's a little bit lengthy to go through every single card and its purpose. So basically, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of the deck and show you maybe some of the highlight cards. Um, so here we go. So it is Mardu, which is to say it is red, white, and black. Let's take a look at the commander first and foremost. We have a 3/3 Flying Vigilance for 3. So this is one of the main win conditions, not so much for her ability, but for she shows up and she attacks pretty consistently with the Vigilance and the Flying. So she kind of puts a bit of a clock there, and when she enters the battlefield, you look at the top 7 cards of your library, top 6, and you take an Angel, Demon, or Dragon from among those 6 and put it into your hand. So you play her, and ideally in that 6 you find one of those things to put into your hand and then have a threat for a little later in the game. And you drop her on turn 3, so you put that early pressure. But the deck is not, it's not like original Kaalia where it's just like jam-packed with Angels, Demons, and Dragons with a few other effects to sort of get you there. This deck is actually, what I'm doing with it is sort of a stacks build. So I've got enchantments and creatures that do things that put your opponent at a disadvantage. So we'll take a look at a couple of those. Deafening Silence. Each player can't cast more than one non-creature spell each turn. I did not put Rule of Law. I just really couldn't find a cut for it. So we've got a mini Rule of Law there. We've got Dawn of Hope to create tokens and draws cards. Eidolon of Obstruction makes Planeswalkers' abilities actually cost mana to activate. We've got Elder Spell and D-Spark, some Planeswalker removal there. Well, D-Spark hits anything, but it's Planeswalkers, right? Angrath's Rampage, make them sack dudes. Kroxa, a recurable discard effect. We've got Banishing Light and Prison Realm to exile things we don't like. Murderous Rider. Kunoros to hit their graveyard, let them not interact with that. You know, we've got some removal spells, some board wipes. We've got some big Planeswalkers, Planar Cleansing, Elspeth Conquers Death. That kind of thing is, that's really what we're going for. Though, you know what? Let's take out Planar Cleansing and put in that new one, because Planar Cleansing is going to hit all my enchantments, which is going to put me at a huge disadvantage, whereas Shatter the Sky costs less, is only going to hit creatures. So let's go that route. And then we do have some demons and dragons and angels. So we've got Drakuseth, we have, where is it? We've got Doom Whisperer, and we have Seraph of the Scales, we have Aurelia, and there was one more in there that I'm not seeing. You know what, that might be it, honestly. We really, like I said, the Spawn of Mayhem, there you go. The goal is not to slam them with Angels, Demons, and Dragons all day. The goal is to create an atmosphere where they can't really play or do much, while you create a board presence with creatures that are limiting what they do while also attacking. Dread Horde Invasion to make tokens. Yeah, so that's really what we're going for here. It is more of a stacks build than a traditional Kaalia beat down Angels, Demons, Dragons situation. So without further ado, so this is very fitting. What we are playing against here is Nicol Bolas, Dragon God. So we are playing against Grixis. That's fun. We have 2 lands, Mana Rock, Dread Horde Invasion, Kroxa, Bedevil, and Outlaw's Merriment. We have a lot of early game interaction, and if their deck is doing what I think their deck is doing, I think that this is a good hand to keep. I know there's only 2 lands, but there is a Mana Rock, and everything else costs pretty cheap. So we're just going to go with this hand. We're just waiting for them to decide on their mulligan. That's cool, because last week I posted a video playing Nicol Bolas Dragon God, and now this week I am playing against Nicol Bolas Dragon God with my other Brawl deck. And I do have many Brawl decks, so in the future there will be many Brawl videos. I just have to go through them one by one and update them with the new Theros cards. So Yep. And actually, yesterday I did update my Nicol Bolas deck with Theros cards. So, and then this morning I did this deck with some Theros cards, and as we go, yeah, like I said. So they have kept a full 7. It took a little while to decide, but they have done it, and they're cracking Evolving Wilds right away because there's nothing to hide. Because I know what their colors are. They are Grixis, so they've made a choice somewhere correctly. Alrighty. Godless Shrine, that's good. So let's play Temple. We want that turn 1. Scry. It's a Dawn of Hope. We're going to keep Dawn of Hope. So turn 2, we have 2 options. We can go for the Arcane Signet, or we can go for the Dread Horde Invasion. And they have played their own Kroxa. So I think what we want to do is discard... I really like the cards in my hand. So we're going to discard Field of Ruin. I know, risky plays. So we could go for our own Kroxa to show them who's boss, but I think what we want to do is Dread Horde Invasion and start attacking. I actually toyed with the idea of putting Kroxa in my own Bolas Brawl, but I decided against it. Awesome. Command Tower. So now we can play Arcane Signet, and then we can play our own Kroxa, Titan of Death's Hunger. Tails End! I love that card. Counter target legendary spell or activated or triggered ability. I think that card is so friggin' cool and such a good Brawl card. Amazing. I'm so happy we just got countered by that. So now I know turn like early game Kaalia is solid, but Outlaw's Merriment is also very good, especially considering what they have just played. So let's go with Outlaw's Merriment so that we don't have it discarded to Elspeth's Nightmare. Because now they get to look at her hand and take a non-creature, non-land card, and they're probably going to take Captive Audience, or Bedevil. Yeah. But hey, the more cards they put in my graveyard, the closer I get to Kroxa. So, celebrate. Here it is, Nicol Bolas Dragon God, +1, exile some stuff. We're absolutely going to exile Captive Audience. So we amass 1, we have a 2/2, and perfect. That is, oh my god, that is enough damage to just kill Nicol Bolas right then and there. Now we're a little bit mana shy, and that is unfortunate. So what we're going to do here is Idyllic Tutor. Oh, they get to exile my graveyard next turn. That's unfortunate. So we're going to go for Idyllic Tutor, and then we are just going to take a Prison Realm. That's a good one. Ah, my precious graveyard. That sucks. I wish we had more lands, but I guess everything we have doesn't cost a lot, so we can play it pretty cheap. But I still wish I had more lands. Da da da. That's my song. Uh-oh. Agonizing Remorse. They've taken my Prison Realm. This is super unfortunate. But, you know, as much as they're taking away our resources, we still have a pretty threatening board presence that they have to answer soon, or else they are in trouble. Because we are, look at us, we're getting all of the big ones. So we're going to come in for 9 here. Boop, boop, boop. And then we are going to play... it's tough, right? I think we should take Dawn of Hope because they have a lot of mess with my hand stuff, and the more things I have on the board that are threatening, the better that gets. Plus, imagine if we Kaalia find something big and then they have Thought Erasure us and we lose that something big. Plus, we do have the damage on board right now to kill them unless they take action. So Kaalia would have not put that any further, if you know what I mean. Because they're either going to board wipe or they're not. If they board wipe, we lose Kaalia. If they don't board wipe, we win. There it is, the scoop. They played Finale of Revelation and scooped. So I guess I can overtake a control deck even when I'm mana screwed. So that is Braulio. I think I hit stop recording before I finished my sentence. which is a good move. Always interrupt yourself. So here we are. We're just waiting for an opponent now. We're obviously bringing Braulio. That's the name of the deck, by the way, Braulio, because I'm so clever. And it looks like our opponents, their name is Rec Deck, and they are playing Keyhora, the untap permanence Keyhora. So this is a sweet hand because we got 3 lands in the opener. Dawn of Hope, Bedevil, and the mana, not the mana to cast it, but we do have Murderous Rider, we can cast that, and we have Chandra for a little bit later, and we obviously have Kaalia mana, so we can go turn 2, Dawn of Hope, turn 3, Kaalia. So we're going to keep this 7, opponent goes first, they drop a tapped land, and now it is our turn, so we will play our own tapped land, no need to pay 2 life to untap it, because next turn we're going to go Dawn of Hope. Yeah. Boop-a-doo. Oh, see, that's tempting too. We could let's start the Dread Horde invasion before Dawn of Hope. So we're going to play Dread Horde invasion and start attacking in a couple turns with a token that's just going to get bigger. What that does is at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life and create a 1, and you amass. So you either create a 1/1 token, or if you already have that token, you put +1 counters on that existing token. They're going to play Uro, gain a life, play a land, draw 3 cards, gain 3 life, draw 1 card. Again, I'm not my best today. And a Beanstalk Giant to find some lands. That's not bad. So here we go. There we go. We make our 1/1, and now we can go Swamp. And our choices here are Dawn of Hope or Kaalia. And I like the Kaalia option because we want to get that tempo going. We want to start attacking ASAP. And Kaalia finds us Spawn of Mayhem. So between the cards that we draw for our opening hand and the cards that we play as we play, it's a pretty good chance that one of those 6 is going to be the Angel, Demon, or Dragon. Even though we don't have too many, we have enough to get there pretty much every time we play the Kaalia. Like, it's not like we're playing her every turn, right? As long as we find 1 on the first drop, I think we're set. And this is a good one too because it costs 4 or it costs 3 if you deal damage to them. Now here we go, Nissa, who shakes the world. The world. So that's a bit unfortunate because she is so potent, but we have answers for her because we've got Murderous Rider and we've got a Flying Vigilance. They have reach though, so we can't quite... You know what, we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone here, so let's just go with Evolving Wilds, and then we will Murderous Rider the 3/5. What does it do? Whenever an opponent casts an sorcery spell, create it. Okay. So that's a little unfortunate, but we just need to get rid of that thing ASAP. So we're going to go for that. Now they do have a Reach Spider, so they can, partially block what's coming at their Nissa. But at the very least, we're going to deal 2 damage to the Nissa and still have a 3/3 untapped creature to block with. Not that we will block because we want Kaalia alive. So for the Evolving Wilds, I'm thinking we get red so that we can cast Bedevil, and then we'll also get the 2 red for Chandra when the time for Chandra comes. So here's Keyhora. This is pretty good. When they play a big dude, they draw a card, and they can -1 to untap something. So they can tap their lands for 2 with Nissa, and then untap it and tap it again for another 2, making 4 mana off of 1 forest. That's pretty good. I was actually, while my air conditioner was running and I couldn't record, I was playing a practice game, and this was the deck that I practiced against. It might even be the same opponent, who knows? I wasn't paying attention to the username last time. So this could very well just be a repeat of the same game, which did not go so well for me, but so far I'm doing a lot better this time around. Well, I was doing better, and then they played Hydroid Crassus. That card just ruins days. I get to draw an extra card because it is greater than 4. So their hand's pretty full. I mean, my hand is full too, but I'm not producing the same amount of mana that they're producing. This is horrifying. But it is our turn, and that's nice. So we're going to sacrifice that Evolving Wilds using the new Activate Ability button. Find the mountain, like we had previously discussed. And we amass, making a 3/3 token. So what they've actually done here is they have tapped their blockers. So we want to play Rakdos Locket, tapping white, black, and colorless. And now we Bedevil the Hydroid Crassus, leaving no blockers, and we can just get into Nissa for lethal. No more Nissa. So we've really put ourselves in a better position by getting rid of the Nisa. And then, of course, we still have Kaalia to block, though I don't think we will block because well, maybe we will. If we block, we kill a land, and that's kind of like a strip mine effect. We can recast Kaalia. They just lose that land. So that's something to keep in mind. Pardon me while I hydrate. So we're just waiting to see what they do. How's everyone's day? How are you? How are you doing? How are your games going? Are you playing Magic? Are you playing Pokemon? Yo, if you're playing Ultra League on the Go Battle League and you're doing well, please tell me down below what your 3 are, because I'm doing very poorly in Ultra League, and you're going to see how poorly when I put out my video on Thursday, because it's going to be Ultra League Go Battle League. Oops, they played something. Enters a battlefield, surveil 4. When you do, return an online permanent to its owner's hand. They're going to bounce my token, which means the token just ceases to exist. So I've just lost a 4-4, and it's going to take a little while to build it back up through the Dread Horde invasion. That's unfortunate, but it's okay. We'll survive. And now they are playing Uro from the graveyard, so it does not sacrifice. They just have a 6/6 now. So they draw a card off Keyhora, they draw a card off Uro, they gain a life, they play a land, gain 3 life. I've used Uro. I own a Uro, and I keep saying his abilities wrong. And a midnight clock. Now it's our turn. They get a counter on their clock, and we make a token and lose a life. Command Tower, that's a good one. We'll play Command Tower. So they have 4 cards in hand. We have a couple options here. We can play the Chandra and have a Chandra, or we can play Thought Distortion and just exile everything in their hand. But it's a good chance their hand is full of creatures. This is not the best card against them. Normally I'd play Chandra and just -3, but it's not actually going to kill their forests because their forests are elementals, and this hits non-elementals. So honestly, what's looking pretty good here is Dawn of Hope, make a token for a block. Yeah, so let's play Dawn of Hope. And let's play Spawn of Mayhem, because that's going to block their lands, and that's going to chump block the Dream Eater. The Dream Eater flies, unfortunately, so we're not going to attack, because sending Kaalia into a Dream Eater is a bit of a suicide mission. So let's see what they do with their turn. Tap that thing for 2 mana, tap it for another 2 mana, play a Questing Beast. That's just what green decks do, right? They love their Questing Beast. But no, it's a Nyx Bloom Ancient, 5/5 trample. When they tap a permanent for mana, they get 3 mana. So it's pretty friggin' bonkers. We'll see what they do with it. They could probably cast that Beanstalk Giant. That seems fun. We're kind of getting a little look-see at what they have in their hand, right, as they play things. So we're going to get a sense of whether or not it was worth it to do Thought Distortion. So far they've played 2 creatures. That enters the battlefield. It's probably going to fight something. There it is, fight the demon. Very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. So I think one of the cards that we want to draw, obviously we want to draw the Day of Judgment effect. That would be very nice for us. But another thing that we would like to draw is it doesn't matter now. There it is. It's all over. Endray's Forerunners. Everything is very large, very tramply, very hasty, very vigilanty. Good lord. Well, normally I would concede and just move on to the next game, but I'd like to see what negative number my life total is after all this. Negative 95. So they didn't get me to negative 100, which probably means they're not very good at this game. I'm of course kidding. They tore me apart. So let's just get to the next game, shall we? That was terrifying. Where's my cursor? Okay, next game. Ouch, so that hurt. So I guess we know now that the deck doesn't do so well against Keyhora. So in my practice this morning, I went 2-0 against 2 different mono blue decks, and now I'm 0-2 against Keyhora. So so far the tally for the deck is 2-2. It's pretty good. I mean, it's been against 2 different mono blue decks, and then 2 decks of the same build. And I actually can't recognize the artwork on that card, so we're going to have to... Oh, we can't see it. They're playing Yarok, the Desecrated. Okay, that's a cool card. I like that card. I don't like to fight that card, but I like the card. So this is just a bad one. Given the deck they're playing, Eidolon's not relevant, and that's the only thing we can cast with these 2 lands. So we're going to take our free mulligan, because you get one of those in Brawl. This is a great hand. We have 2 later game enchantments that make impact on the board. We have a Mana Rock, and we have a Tutor, and we have 2 Scrylands. So we're going to keep this. And we will start with the Boros Scryland. Kaya's Wrath. We're going to keep that. Absolutely, because we're definitely against a deck that's going to be playing many creatures, and we want to have answers for that when the time comes. So we don't need this temple just now, so we're going to use it to pay for a Gateway Plaza to get that mana fixing early on. Unfortunately, our hand doesn't actually allow for the turn to Kaalia. Oh, there it is. We got an untapped land. So let's pay 2 life, and we got to start these Kaalia beats right away. And we'll see if I was right in that there's usually, see, there it is, Drakaseth. We have a creature in the top 6, so now we have a threat for a little bit later in the game once we've developed a solid board position. 2/2 Mana Dork. So we will play Temple of Scry, and there's an Eidolon up top. So we're going to leave the Eidolon up top, and then we're just going to Idyllic Tutor. And so they're playing creature value. So we want to find something that is going to help deal with the creature value situation. Honestly, I think it's just a Prison Realm. Enters the battlefield, exile something, and scry 1. It's a solid choice to remove the scary things they play later. At the very least, it's a one-shot removal on their Yarok the Desecrated. Oh, they scoop. Okay. So that didn't count as a game. We'll go to the next one.